Well, everybody, it's time for Conversations With. And today I'm delighted to have with me today Kim Harmon. And there's an exciting program that's coming to Charlton at St. Joseph's Church, and it will be here in November. And it's an outstanding program, and the thing that is really exciting, and Kim will be sharing with us in a little bit, but the thing that's really exciting is people are coming from all over the Northeast to attend it. So with me today is Kim Harmon. And Kim, it's delightful to have you with us. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Mercy and Mary Retreats?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm glad,
Dick.
delighted.
The Mercy and Mary Retreat is a retreat that's hosted by the Marian Missionaries of Divine Mercy. We're a small not-for-profit located in Stockbridge, Massachusetts on Eden Hill. And we started these retreats in the year of mercy, specifically to bring two broad apostolic messages out there across the United States. One is the very important message of divine mercy, and the second is the message of Marian consecration. So these retreats have been incredibly successful, so successful that towards the end of the Year of Mercy, we started receiving calls from all over the United States from people begging us to come to their diocese, come to their parishes. So it literally has been a very life-transforming retreat. We are so excited that we're going to be coming here to Charlton this November.
Well, I know, and I know that a lot of folks at St. Joseph's are really enthusiastic about it, and so what we want to do today, in the time we have, is to chat about what's going to happen and who's going to do it, and you talk about the Year of Mercy, and I'm sure you've noticed them in our narthex. We have replicas of the doors that are at the Vatican, and we had them made for the Year of Mercy. One of our parishioners made them. And on one side is the 12 Acts of Mercy, and on the other side is the replica of what's on the doors at St. Peter's and at the Vatican. And so we have those doors. And of course, the Year of Mercy was something that Pope Francis started with his papacy, and it really has opened a lot of people's eyes and brought a lot of people back who had drifted away. Because if you look at the life of Christ, that's all he did, was give mercy to everybody, forgave everything. I know I was watching a program that the Pope had done, and in fact, Father Bob at St. Joseph's was telling us about it, that he was in Rome, and he was at an ordination of some new priests, and the Holy Father stood up, and he said, let me give you some advice. And he said, first advice I give you, if you're going to do a homily, have a good opening and a good closing, and keep them really close together. And everybody laughed. And he said, the second thing I want to tell you is forgive everything. He says, you can't punish somebody their whole life. Forgive everything. And he says, and then look at the life of Christ and just start walking beside him and do what he'd have done. And Father Bob, that was one of his homilies. So I've always remembered that. So let's talk about it. So who's going to be doing the retreat?
So the retreat leader is a priest who's a priest of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception in Stockbridge. His name is Father Michael Gately. He's an international best-selling author of many books, but one of them, which is right here on the table, is 33 Days to Morning Glory. It's a consecration to Jesus through Mary. Father is also an international speaker. So he is the retreat leader. So he'll be walking the participants through the retreat with several of our great saints, our patron saints of the missionaries, St. John Paul II, our great Mercy Pope, St. Maximilian Kolbe, St. Faustina Kowalska, and also St. Therese of Lisieux, the Little Flower.
Right.
So
he does. I've seen his video on the 33 days, and he talks about Faustina in that a lot, and about St. Therese, and and he's an eloquent speaker, and he's what I really enjoyed about him, and I made a living at this, and so I'm always impressed when I see someone who is able to smile and relax and even laugh, and enjoy what he's doing. And the thing about Father Gately is when you listen to him and see him, he enjoys what he's doing, and he is just so committed to it that it's just so powerful, and I think that's what I really was impressed with. So I'm really looking forward to meeting him and seeing him in person.
That's beautiful. He's a father. Father Gately is also a theologian, Dick, and so he's very, very intelligent. But he has a beautiful way of bringing it down and communicating a very powerful, a very deep message, but in a way that everybody can understand. He's also the director of formation for the Marian Missionary. So we are super blessed to be able to travel with him and to be on his team. So that enjoying, it trickles down to the rest of the team.
Oh yeah, it must, because I mean, your enthusiasm is certainly infectious and something to behold. But so let's tell us about. So when does it start?
Sure. The retreat starts on Friday, November 10th. It's in the
Right.
evening. That will be the first talk by Father Gately. It's his personal witness talk, which is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the retreat
So what
is
time
the
is that
full-
gonna be?
That starts at 7 o'clock on
Right.
Friday evening,
Yeah.
November 10th. And then the full retreat is Saturday, November 11th. It starts at 8 a.m. with a Mass, followed by, we have 4 conference talks scheduled for Saturday. So it's a very, very full day.
Yeah.
In addition to that, we have breakfast with the Marian missionaries or coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
We also have lunch that's provided for the first 500 people.
Yeah.
And then later on that evening, open to the retreatants, is a private Q&A with Father Gately. So it's a very full day, but it's a very enriching day, Dick.
Wow. So it's packed.
It's packed.
Now, I know you mentioned traveling. So you've been doing this now for almost a year and a half.
It's been about 2 years,
2 years.
of the traveling. The most travel was last year with the Year of Mercy, but then we continued this year. We actually changed the format of the retreat. Our retreats used to be full weekends that we would have in different dioceses, but then with all of the requests that were coming in, we thought, okay, well, how can we get these important messages out to more people as quickly as possible? So we changed the format to the one-day retreat, lowered the cost of the donation,
Right.
which is their ticket price, and we found that now the numbers are coming up more. So more people are coming in. They're open to receiving these beautiful messages.
Right. Well, I don't know what it is today, but I was told, I think a week ago, that they had in excess of 200 already signed up.
It's almost 300, and it's only been, I think, about 12 days since
12
we
days.
launched.
Yeah.
So it's filling up very
to
fast.
300. So what's the max? 500, 600?
The max, well, if you ask Father Bob at St.
He'll
Joe's,
tell you
if
10,000.
you ask Father Bob,
20,000.
that's very true. Father Bob said, oh, we could easily fit 1,000 in the church. And then all the volunteers and Sister Agnes at a meeting said, oh my gosh, wait, hold on, we'll get you the real numbers. So we estimate 800 can fit in the
Yeah,
church.
I'm involved, and I can tell you at our Easter Vigil and our Easter Mass and our Christmas Mass, and I'm always reminded of a great young priest when I was a kid growing up, and he used to come out on Christmas and on Easter and say, well, it's great to see all the once-a-year Catholics. How are you? By the way, look at the new vestments we have, and he'd make a big joke out of it. But I've seen St. Joseph's packed, and yeah, you're probably about 800 because they put seats all around the outside, and yeah, they can. And there's the 2 little balconies, so yeah, we can get 800 in there. I mean, he's not kidding you.
I think you'll see the 800. And the interesting thing too is they're coming from all over. We find that with our retreats. We've had people fly in from London, Australia, the Philippines. Not kidding. That's why when we started in Charlton, we encouraged everybody in our own diocese to register and sign up as soon as possible. Because we do have people also flying in from Arizona, California.
Already signed up?
Oh, they're already signed up. Wow. And this is the only retreat that we have that we're offering in New England. So it's great because we've been all over the country, but now we're coming to our own backyard.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful.
Well, you live in Auburn.
I live in Auburn.
Yeah, so
I
this
do.
is exciting.
For me, it's super exciting.
Yeah. Well, but the thing about it is that you've already got people signed up from as far away as California. I mean, how great is that for our diocese and even for Charlton itself to have these people coming in, and they'll be here for a couple of days.
They will.
They
will.
I mean, that's incredible.
It's really beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, Dick, to see what Our Lady has done. We entrust all of our retreats to our Blessed Mother. And what we say is after each retreat, it's like these little grace bombs are going off in each of the parishes that we go to. And it's really, really beautiful because you know where Our Lady is, the Holy Spirit
Yeah.
is. And all Mary needs is a tiny little crack in a heart to send the Holy Spirit. So we have people that might come in with some woundedness, you know, that maybe they're struggling a little bit, maybe they need some healing.
Yeah.
By the end of the retreat, their hearts are so wide open that for us, it's been so humbling and so beautiful to be part of
Yeah.
this.
Well, that's incredible. And I mean, I'm just thinking about how great it's going to be to get 500 or 600 or 700 people, you know, packed into St. Joseph's for 2 days.
It's gonna be interesting.
You know.
We might have to ask people to carpool though.
Well, you know, yeah. Well, no, we got plenty of parking there. We got the big back lot, and you can park out and back. Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. And there's nothing wrong with that. If they're going to be, you know, staying in the area, they can certainly, you know, carpool in and out. That's not a problem.
Absolutely.
That's not a problem.
Absolutely.
Well, that's exciting. Now, where have you been so far this year?
Oh, so far this year we have been to Portland, Oregon, Clearwater, Florida. We have a retreat that's coming up in Ohio next weekend in the North Canton area. Last year we were all over Southern California, Northern California.
How many do you do a year?
So last year we had 13 of the longer weekend retreats. It was a busy year.
Wow.
Busy year, but an opportunity to touch many souls.
And so now you've streamlined it a little bit and tightened it up. So how many do you plan on doing this year?
A little bit more than that. So maybe 16 this year, maybe 17.
Right.
Right.
So it's really, and then you got to plan them and you got to organize them.
Well, we do, but that's also in addition to the ministry work that our missionaries do. So we have what we call our M1 Level 1 missionaries. They're men and women that come to us from across the United States, and they give up a year of service to work with the homeless, the poor, the needy. They go to Boston, New York City. They often visit Worcester.
Really?
Oh, but it's so beautiful what they do. It is just beautiful.
I have to share something with you. I was in radio all my life. I owned and operated radio stations. And I went up to Killington, Vermont. We bought a station up there. And I went up to Vermont. And the station that we bought, we had an AM and an FM. And the FM used to have a little thing called the Christmas Fund. And they would go out a couple of weeks before Christmas. And they would go to Dunkin' Donuts and broadcast from there. And they'd raised $8,000 to $10,000, $12,000. So the first year I had the station, they were sharing it with me. I said, we'll do better than that. Oh, no, that's great for us. No, I said, well, I want to put the FM with it. So of course, Killington, big ski area. So I put the program together, and the first year we did it. And what I did is I went to the local advertisers, and I had them list their name on the back of a little ticket. And on the other side was a dollar amount, $25, like a little Monopoly money. On the other side was a list of all the stores in the area that participated. And the deal for them to participate was they had to give us a 20% discount. And so what that meant, whatever we raised, we only had to pay 80 cents on a dollar. So whatever I raised was worth 20% more. Well, the first year we did it, we raised $66,000. Nobody could believe it at the They all looked at me like, how did you do this? I said, I told a little story about when I was a little kid. I was about 10 or 11 years old. My mother used to sit down once a month and pay the bills. And I came bouncing home from school one day, and my mom was sitting at the dining room table, and she had all the little bills. So hi, Mom, how are you? Gave her a hug and a kiss and sat down. What are you doing? Oh, I'm sending it. And she says, now this is in the 40s, or maybe the late 40s, early 50s. And she takes a dollar bill. Now, Kim, I want to tell you, that dollar bill would have bought Dickie 20 Coca-Colas. That dollar bill would have bought Dickie 10 movies at the local movie house on Saturday for the matinee, 10 cents to go to the movies. That dollar would have bought me 5 Red Sox games. Because it was 20 cents to go see the Red Sox, because I was a knothole gang kid. And I was appalled that she was sending that dollar. Mom, what are you doing with that dollar? And she showed me the envelope. And on the envelope was a little kid, caricature. And on his shoulder was a tinier kid, and he was holding a crutch. And the tagline was, he ain't heavy, Father, he's my brother. And it was for Father Flanagan's Boys Town. My mother said to me, you have a brother you have never met? Really? How come? Well, let me tell you, this little boy, he doesn't have a mom and dad like you do. And she pointed to the upstairs and said, he doesn't have a bedroom like you have. And he doesn't have a roof over his head. And he's not going to sit down at 5 o'clock with his mom and dad and have a nice supper that we're going to prepare later this afternoon. He doesn't have any of that. So every month I send this $1, and that takes care of that little boy for a whole month.
That's beautiful.
And I never forgot that. And so when you mentioned the needy and so forth, and now when I have the stations in this area, and we still do it. In fact, we did it this year. We did it on TV for the first time. On Holy Thursday, we have we used to call it a radiothon. Now it's a radio and TV-thon. And we raise money for the food bank over in Southbridge. And when I got to the radio station in 2004, when I bought it, the most they ever got was $12,000 in a day. And I told the two fellas, if you do what I tell you, we're going to get $18,000 this year. They laughed at me. Well, we went on the air at 6 o'clock, and at 6 o'clock at night when we locked the door, we had raised $18,060.
Wow.
And they looked at me. Oh, how did you know? I said, told you, just do what I tell you. And every year it went up. And we had it this past year, this past Holy Thursday, and we raised $37,000 for the local food bank. So I understand that we really are our brother's keeper. And so these folks go out, they come for a whole year, and they go take care of the needy.
They do.
And the sick and the infirmed and so
They do.
forth.
It's really beautiful. It's all the corporate works of mercy that they share. And that's part of the heart of the Marian Missionaries of Divine Mercy, is bringing the joy of the gospel to those that are most in need, to those that are lonely, sad, suffering. That's the message of Divine Mercy.
Wow. And you know, the thing is that what a great opportunity for folks to be able to come. And look, you mentioned some of the retreats you go to, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is Friday night, all day Saturday, and you're done.
Then they have the rest of the weekend free.
Yeah. Yep. And then they got Sunday to reflect and listen to what they heard.
Yeah, just ponder on the
Right.
talks that Father gives and ponder on their experience.
So how many people now, let's talk about putting it on. How many people, it's just not you and Father Gately.
No, we have a team. We have a small team in the office, so we have a pretty lean team. There's about 4 of us that work in the office that travel with Father, and then our missionaries are present at every event. Because, not every event, but because this one is so local and it's close, all of our team will be here in Charlton. So there'll be about 15 of us that will be traveling for this one in
Oh, wow.
November. Yeah, so you'll get to meet all the missionaries.
Well, now, do other priests come too?
No, it's Father Gately is the only Marian priest that comes
wow.
to lead the retreat. But other priests in the diocese, everybody in the diocese is welcome to come.
But
Yeah.
but Father Gately doesn't bring 2 or 3 of his buddies.
No, he doesn't. No, he does not. We're his buddies, I guess.
Oh,
No,
So he's a one-man band.
he is. He's the retreat master. His talks are phenomenal. They just keep getting better and better with each retreat. So
Really?
yeah.
I mean, does
yeah.
he have them all scripted, or does he just talk?
No, Father just talks. But he knows his material so incredibly well. He
Yeah.
doesn't read anything. He talks to the audience.
Oh, I said to you earlier, he's magnificent. I mean, I watched, and of course I saw him on a video, and he's delightful. You know, I mean, he brings in humor.
He's
you know.
very funny.
Yeah, he is. He's got a great sense of humor, and it comes across because it makes the message more meaningful. I mean, sometimes driving a message of, you know, mercy and love and God and can get dry, but his isn't, because he brings humor into it, and he's got such a great way of presenting it. I mean, he's dynamite when he does it. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to hearing him, because in fact we had a retreat earlier. We have a Franciscan father who comes every couple of years. Father Bob brings him in. Father Simeon Gallagher, and he just stands up and does 40 minutes, and you're just in awe, you know, and eloquent, speaks beautifully, you know, it just really can. But your Father Gately is really something. He's really a dynamite priest.
Yeah, he's a great role model for us,
Yeah.
for many.
And he must be fun to travel with.
He is fun to travel with.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lot of fun to travel
Yeah.
with. He's a great writer too. His books are they're really good books.
Oh yeah, he's got some great books. What,
Yeah.
This is one here.
Yeah, 33 Days to Morning Glory. That book has sold millions of copies all over the world. It's a very powerful book. It's the consecration to Jesus through our Blessed Mother. So it's entrusting everything that we do to Mary, and nobody knows Jesus like Mary does. And Mary really does bring us to the heart of mercy and straight to the pierced side of her Son.
Wow.
It's a really beautiful book. That's the book that changed my life, Dick.
Really?
Yeah, completely changed my life. So
I see he's going to do it. You'll autograph them. He's going to do an autograph.
he'll do a book signing.
Yeah.
There'll be a book signing also.
Oh, good.
Book signing. There'll be adoration, benediction on that day. We'll pray the
Right.
Divine Mercy Chaplet together.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different things that we have planned throughout the day.
Well, not only that, but you start to think about it. And let's just say, for the sake of an argument, 700 people end up there. There's going to be people you're going to meet that you'll never in 100 years would you have ever met them. There's going to be relationships that will begin. There'll be friendships that will start. There'll be exchange of stories and information, and out of that is going to come a camaraderie that you would never get. I mean, you think about, and you're talking Wisconsin and California and Arizona and Ohio, et cetera, et cetera. These are people who are coming into our area, and we have a chance, we meaning us in Charlton, to showcase our beautiful church to them, and then they're going to be able to interact with people from all over our area.
That's a beautiful way to look at that. Beautiful way.
Well, think about the relationships and friendships that will develop. Jen just finished, did a Cursillo, and just finished it, and met people she never would have ever met before, and met some great folks, and they've even emailed back and forth since the retreat. So that's why I say that, and I can envision that with 600 or 700 people from not only all over New England, but even from out of the area, who are going to be together for a Friday night and an all-day Saturday, and there's going to be relationships that will begin, and will end up being shared, and may last forever.
Absolutely.
In
Absolutely.
addition to the message.
Absolutely.
Now you've heard this before. This isn't. You're going to go. This isn't going to be new to you.
For me, this is not new. No.
Does it ever get old?
No, it never gets old. I think every time we have a retreat, I take away gold nuggets as well. And I think what is so beautiful about the retreats, Dick, is that we bring our community back home, which is in Lee. It's right outside of the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy. We bring who we are to every retreat. So we embrace every retreatant as a member of our family. So for us, it's incredibly heartwarming to be able to be out there with all of our new brothers and sisters. It's beautiful.
Well, you had a chance. You've been at St. Joseph's. You were there a couple of weeks ago, so you got a chance to see us in action, and what a great community there is here.
It's a very active community at St. Joseph's.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Very active.
If Father Bob sees you standing alone for more than 30 seconds, he finds a job for you.
He does.
You got to be careful.
That's very true.
But that's the good news. I mean, it's a great community. We had a visitor recently, and I was after Mass was cleaning up a little bit and this person called me over, and said to me, I've never been to a church where they all stand up and clap and cheer. I said, well, welcome to St. Joseph's. She said, I can't wait to go back and tell. She was visiting some friends, and I forget where she was from, some other part of the area, and she couldn't wait to go back and tell them she went to a church where somebody gave a little talk and they cheered and clapped. And then we have beautiful singers. We have a great choir, and Andrea, who does our cantering, happened to do the Ave Maria that day, and when she finished, everybody clapped, and this woman was amazed that I said, well, that's St. Joseph's,
That's St. Joseph. And you had said earlier, Dick, that Father Bob would get up and say that all are welcome, all are welcome. And I think that's a very important message for us with the retreat is you don't have to be Catholic to come to the Mercy and Mary retreat.
No.
This retreat truly is open to all of our brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Oh, Father Bob. In fact, in February, every year, they have an ecumenical event. Reverend Jim Chase from the Charlton Federated Church, he comes over and he does the homilies at our 8 and 10, and then Father Bob, the next week, goes over to their church, to the Federated Church, and he does their homily the following weekend. And people love it. Jim Chase comes over, everybody loves him, you know, and it's what they do. And so, you know, there's that interaction. In the old days of, you know, are gone. I mean, not here. And Father Bob's all are welcome in our church. And the good news is he means it.
Yeah, he does mean it for
You
sure.
know, and he lives it.
Yeah, we've had a couple meetings so far with the ambassadors that we brought
Yeah.
together from the Worcester Diocese. These are all the leaders that have offered the Hearts of Fire program,
Yeah.
which is part of 33 Days to Morning Glory is part of that. And the volunteer team from St. Joseph's has been just outstanding. They are so on fire for this retreat.
Tell me
That's
about-
contagious.
Tell me about. Oh, it is, and so that's the beauty of it, and that's the excitement of it. Is that they care, and they want this to be successful. And knowing Father Gately and now spending a little time with you, I'm saying to myself, how can it not be? You know.
Yeah, thank you.
But I'm thrilled to know that you've heard them over and over and over again, and it's not old for you.
Never gets old.
No.
Never. It just keeps getting better and better.
Well, I'm sure, because I know he's a great speaker. Every speaker reacts to the audience he has. So when he gets up there and he looks out on a church that's packed, it's going to be motivation for him.
It is.
And when he sees the warmth and the love and the caring and the affection that audience will bring to him, it's, you know, I'm figuring after he does his Friday night, he can't wait for Saturday.
That's true,
You know?
and the hospitality of the Worcester Diocese. I mean, this is a retreat that's open to the whole diocese.
Yeah.
So it's the hospitality of all of those that are at St. Joe's and also Worcester. So this is going to be really, really exciting for Father and for us.
Right. Oh no, I know it is for you,
Yeah.
because you're from Auburn. You're jumping up and down.
That's right.
And that's exciting. So let's take a moment to talk about it. How do they? If people want to go, how do they get a hold of you?
Sure. So
Let's start that.
Sure. They have two ways to register. One is to go to MarionMissionaries.org. MarionMissionaries.org.
That's MARIAN.
MARIAN, missionaries, all spelled out, .org, or they can call 413-944-8500, extension 10. That's the events line.
Now, do that one more time.
Sure.
Because you know what drives me crazy?
Sure.
People who leave you a message and they say, call me back at 55, and you got to play it 12 times to get the phone number. So these people, now, go get a pencil. Hurry up. Get a pencil. Get ready. Here we go.
Okay, 413-944-8500, extension 10.
Good. And then when you get that done, the person at extension 10 will say, I'm glad you called.
That would be Claire. And
Okay.
Claire would be delighted to take your phone call.
Good. So you can ask for, and by the way, tell Claire you're connected. Because when you say, hi, Claire, how are you doing? She will never
That's
know
right.
how you got her name.
That's right.
So there you go.
And Claire is able to process a credit card over the phone too, and that's important for anybody registering
Right.
over the phone.
Well, that's outstanding. I mean, I tell you, I'm looking forward to it, and I know a lot of people are, and I know you are.
I am.
You're really excited
That's
about
true.
it.
That's very true.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's got to be fun. Here you have traveled all over the country for a whole year, little more than a year, or 2 years, and now you're going to have it in your own backyard. I mean, how great is that?
It is, because this is the first retreat. I can go home on Friday night and sleep in my own bed.
There you are. See? Now there you go. You're lucky. See? That's good news. And then again, it starts early Saturday morning, and goes through the day.
Yeah, Saturday
Yeah.
is a full day, so
Yeah.
we ask everybody just rest on Friday night. Make sure that they're eating well to take care of their well-being.
Yeah.
Saturday is a very, very full day, but
Yeah.
it's a beautiful, beautiful day.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. So once again, you can register by calling those phone numbers that we gave you, and Drew will put it up on the screen, so you get the MarionMissionaries.org. And if you want more information, you can call Claire, and she's at extension 10 on that number we gave you, and you can call Claire and talk to her, and she can give you any information that you need or you want.
Absolutely, and we hope to see a lot of the viewers there.
Now you must have a list though that you must start spreading the word that this is going to take place.
Oh, we actually have. We have Last summer, Dick, I offered a Mercy, Mary, and Me retreat in the Worcester Diocese, and we had representatives from 21 parishes that came together.
Wow.
So out of those 21, we have 18 ambassadors here within our own diocese that are actively working. So we've been meeting on Friday nights at St. Joe's. That's our date night together. It's our
Oh,
Mercy
good.
and Mary date night.
Great.
So we have all these people. We call them Mary's Marines that are out there
Good.
really working hard.
Good. Kim, thanks so much. It was great having you
It
with
was
us.
thank you
It was
so
great,
much.
and we had
Thank
fun.
you.
There you are,
Thank
folks.
you.
Another Conversations With.